Big up everyone. What is happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another live stream. Hope we are all doing well. Big up to every single one of you locked in the building. Big up you all. Big up you all the legends in the chat. Whoever's going to join, whoever will pop in later, whoever will. Anyway, big up to you all. Big up to you all. Back again with another live stream. Now, yesterday was going to be my day off. It was going to be my day off from recording Liverpool content. But of course, with the Mohamed Salah news that dropped, I could not record something. You know what I'm saying? So today there's a lot to talk about in today's video. As you can see, the title right there: who's going to replace Mohamed Salah? Who's going to be the next right winger or the next big thing at Liverpool off that right hand side come the summer and going into next season? Got a little bit more about Xabi Alonso as well. I know I drone on about this constantly, and you might get tired of it, but there is news regarding Xabi Alonso potentially being sat there by the mobile waiting for the Liverpool call. And obviously, as you can see in the last bit as well, Arne Slot on the verge of the sack. So by the reports that I'm reading, it looks like Slot very well. Well, he's definitely, from the reports that I've read, out at the end of the season. He's definitely not here next year. I can say that certainly. The question is, does he see out the rest of the season? Or will the club do an interim for the last 6 games? So yeah, big up to you all. Big up to every single one of you. I love doing this, man. I love going live daily. I genuinely do. I love all the people in the community. I love all the people in the chat day in, day out that are supporting me, that are always in the chat, interacting with me. It means so much. It means a lot. So big up to every single one of you legends. Speaking of a legend, one has just stopped by in the chat right now. The legend himself, Nighttime Kid. Big up, my brother. Hope you are well. Big up yourself, man. Big up, big up. But yeah, normally I stream midday at around 6 p.m., 5 p.m. I had to wait a little bit today because I had something to do. So yeah, back with another stream. So how are we doing, guys? How are we doing? Let us know in the comment section how we're doing. I nearly fell asleep, man. I was out. What time is it where you are, Nighttime Kid? What's the time over there? I'm bored. To be fair, that's why I'm here, Nighttime Kid. You said you're bored. That's why I'm here, to provide you with some content and to provide you with some joy and something to look forward to. So, yeah, if you're bored, you're in the right place. 2:57 a.m. or p.m. 2:57 a.m. or is it 2:57 p.m.? p.m. Okay, so it's afternoon then. It's afternoon. I hear it. Guys, where do I start, man? Where do I start? There's 3 topics of discussion there. There's the one on Salah, there's the one on Xabi Alonso, and then there's the one on Arne Slot. Which one do I start with? Because they're all going to take quite a bit of time to discuss, and I only want to be live for about an hour max. So, where do we start, man? Where do we start? In the afternoon, yeah? Should we start with Salah then? Okay, Nighttime Kid, your wishes are my command. So, Mohamed Salah. Look, obviously the news broke yesterday. I did do a live about it. You're funny, bro. I did do a live about it yesterday, discussing my initial reaction to the news breaking. Look, as much as it hurts, and I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't hurt, I have expected this to happen. I did expect he wasn't going to be here next season, but I expected the announcement would come a little bit later. But it drops now, and you know what? Fair play, because you know what? It's out in the wind. It is out in the wind. I'm happy that he just announced it straight up. No fucking about. No, being on the fence. Just straight up came out and said that he will be leaving at the end of the season. You remember what happened last season, guys, with Trent, Virgil, and Mo himself? Trent was really, really taking the piss, let's be honest, prolonging the contract thing for the whole season. Then he drops it towards the end with like 3-4 weeks to go that he's going to leave. The little rat couldn't come out and be honest with us. And that's what I don't like. Mohamed Salah, he's announced early on his intentions and why he's doing it. So fair play to him. He's a better person than Trent will ever be. And he's got more integrity than Trent has ever had as well. So big up to him there. The news is sad because of what he is and how much he means to us supporters. But at the same time, guys, it's the correct time, isn't it? I think people will agree with me when I say it is the correct time to move Mo on. This season, compared to last season, we've seen a massive dip in his in his standards, in his form that he usually holds himself to. The goals are dried up. He goes to a lot of games. Has Salah played well in a game this season? Let me think. I'm trying to think if Mohamed Salah's genuinely played well in a game this season. He scored in a couple of games, don't get me wrong. He has scored in a couple of games. But I'm trying to think if he's actually played well in a single game this year. Opening night against Bournemouth, he played well. No, sorry, he scored. He didn't play well, but he scored. Against Burnley, scored, didn't play well. Villa was probably a decent game. Aston Villa at home back in early November. Galatasaray the other week, he scored, didn't have a brilliant game. Brighton scored, didn't have a brilliant game. Exactly like Tom Kidd, just spot on here, bro. While he's back goals, he hasn't had an actual good all-round game. You know, it's kind of like he's ghosted, but then he'll just pop up with the goal. Whereas last season, I think he was giving defenders nightmares. The year before that as well. He's not doing that no more. Let's be honest. He's not been able to do that this season. And again, there are numerous factors why that is. I don't think it's all purely because of him. I don't think that he's just fallen off a cliff overnight. While I do think he's declined this season, I'll admit he has declined. I can't help but feel another manager would be able to get something out of Salah, a bit more out of him. You know, I don't think no one can really sit here and tell me that if a Steven Gerrard came in as interim, he wouldn't be able to get more out of Mohamed Salah. No one can tell me, because I genuinely believe Steven Gerrard comes in as an interim, being the ex-player, being a legend of the club himself, and of course, a legend to another legend. Salah would play for him. He'd have Salah running through big holes, and he'd have Salah back where he needs to be to an extent. You know what I'm saying? So while Salah's quality has dipped, and I won't be one of those who's deluded and not admit it, while his quality has dipped, I still feel like another manager could get something more out of him. I think he's leaving Madrid. Griezmann is leaving Atletico Madrid. Night Tom Kidd. He's going to Orlando City in the summer. Slippy G. John Terry slipped in a Champions League final, taking a penalty. John Terry, Chelsea's captain, slipped in a Champions League final, taking a penalty. Conveniently, everyone seems to forget about that. Very quick to remember Gerrard slipping. How about Terry slipping in a Champions League final? Why does that, for some reason, get forgotten? Gerrard agenda, that's why. But anyway, guys, so it's out in the air. We know Mohamed Salah is going to leave the club at the end of the season. He's given us the best time of his career, let's be honest. You know, I know people don't rate Mohamed Salah. And look, I can't do nothing. I get a lot of DMs from people on Instagram saying people don't rate Mohamed Salah, this, that. I can't do nothing about that. Everyone has their own preference on what they like in a footballer. Everyone has their preference on what they want to see in a footballer, what entertains them. And Mohamed Salah, he doesn't appeal to certain people. He doesn't appeal to certain people. They're not the type of footballer they enjoy watching. And it's fair enough. We can't do nothing about that because that's opinion. That's another person's opinion. I can't do nothing about that. I can't force someone to like a player. Just like someone can't force me to like a player. And I'm saying the mind's made up. Everyone has preference. And a lot of people, especially the older generation, don't really like players that just score goals and don't really do much. With Mohamed Salah, you've got a player who is very good at scoring goals. Scoring-wise, he's right up there. But I feel in terms of like an all-round winger, dribbling and all that, he might lack a bit compared to the Ronaldos and that. And that's why people don't rate him. People want to be entertained watching a player. And people don't just like someone who just bags goals. For me personally, I don't really care. Either way, I'm fine. If I get a player that will just bag me goals and do nothing else, I don't mind. If I have a player who's good on the eye and skillful, I don't mind. I'm open. I'm not setting my ways in a footballer. I'm not setting my ways. If you can get both in a team, brilliant. But I'm not setting my ways. I'm not stubborn. You know, I'm open to either or. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes players are just, they're going to bag. They're made to score. They want to score. That's what they want. Haaland is world class, correct. But is he a world class all-round player? No, he's not. But he bags. And his GA is world class, which is why he's world class. And I don't think anyone will argue against that. So for me, look, I'm not set in my ways. I'm very open. I really couldn't care less whether I get someone who just bags me goals or whether I get someone who's good on the eye. I know a lot of people are set in their ways and they'll be very stubborn. I'm not one of those. The Egyptian prince. The Egyptian prince, But yeah, guys, he's not for everyone. He's not for everyone, so you can't really force someone to like a player. You know what I'm saying? I don't particularly rate Eden Hazard like that, in my opinion. I don't particularly rate Eden Hazard like that. I think he had a lot of potential. He had a lot of talent. But let's be honest, what did he do with his talent? Nothing. Sat at Madrid eating burgers on the bench, getting overweight. What did Eden Hazard really do with the talent he had? He wasted it. So I don't really see the hype around that guy, although on his day he was brilliant. But again, it's like a lot of people say, talent only takes you so far in football. Talent is only half of the equation. That's the other half, mindset, mentality. It's why Ronaldo's where he is, man, let's be honest. You think CR7 relied on his talent only? No, he didn't. He had to have the mindset to want to be the best too. And that's one thing I can look at Mohamed Salah and CR7 and compare to. They both have similar mindsets. They both have not only the talent, but they also have the mindset, the mentality. One thing you can't ever discredit Mohamed Salah for, one thing you can't hate on him for is the fact that he's worked incredibly hard to get where he is and to be where he is and to be talked about as he is. This is a man who was at Chelsea in his younger days, in a talented Chelsea side under a great coach, Jose Mourinho. And he was basically told by Jose Mourinho he wasn't going to make it at Chelsea. He was nowhere near good enough. And a lot of players would just crumble. When that happens, they would just crumble. Nighttime Kid, I'm trying to explain something, but we'll do your rage bait BS later. We'll do your rage bait BS. Let me explain this first. Just because you lack a bit of knowledge on this, don't be trying to rage bait to try and change the subject. This is a player, and also Nighttime Kid. You say Salah's not all that. Your legend Son only won one trophy at Tottenham, but he's a legend apparently. So how does that work? How Salah not all that after having won one of everything, but Son is so amazing and a legend after only winning one trophy? Please explain down below in the comments. Big up Dansham. Big up yourself, brother. Appreciate you being in. We're back to what I was saying. Nighttime Kid, let me know in the comments, bro. I'd love to see what your comeback is on that one. But yeah, a man who was told he wasn't good enough at Chelsea and he was let go. Now a lot of players would have just crumbled in that type of when they were told that your morale just completely drops and you just end up giving up. Mohamed Salah didn't give up. He went back. He went to the Serie A. Ended up at Roma, did very well in the Serie A, and then eventually Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp took a chance on him back in 2017, brought him in, and the rest is history. Over the years, just got better and better and better. His first season for Liverpool was amazing, the numbers he put up. Got the injury in the Champions League final when we lost 3-1. Came back the year after in 18-19. Wasn't really up to the standard that he was the previous year. Took a while to really recover. A lot of people were calling him a one-season wonder. Remember that, people? Remember that? Calling him a one-season wonder after the 17-18 season. When he came back in 18-19, took a while to get back into his rhythm after the injury. And a lot of people were calling him the one-season wonder. I remember vividly. But he did regain his form that season, got better and better as it got on, and then eventually got back to the standard where he was at. 19-20, brilliant. 2021, we had a poor year, but he still contributed to us and helped us out a lot. 21-22, he was brilliant. 22-23, another tough year, but he still contributed. 23-24, Jurgen's last year. Up and down year, to be fair. It started well, ended a bit poorly, but he still contributed. Last season, amazing, let's be honest. Absolutely amazing numbers-wise last year. And this year, unfortunately, has probably been his worst at the club since he's been here. Nonetheless, he's still got decent numbers, even though it's his last year, which is strange. But yeah, you can never, ever discredit Mohamed Salah for having worked as hard as he had. He had the mentality. Now, you might not rate him as a player, but he had the mentality to pick himself up from the Chelsea days and get to where he is now. So you might not rate him as a footballer, but let's be honest, you got to rate him as a person having that mentality to pick himself back up. And you know what? He's in the all-timer debate. He's in the Premier League all-timer debate. And he's definitely a Liverpool legend. Let's be honest. He's easily one of our top 5 legends of all time. So he worked hard to get where he is. And even though he's achieved all of this, he'll still get hatred. He'll still get people saying he's not all that. You'll still get people saying he's just this merchant, that merchant. And again, for me, that just proves the point on how good he is, because people wouldn't have to say that. People wouldn't have to keep hating on the guy if they didn't rate him. It's like they say, if the people are hating on you, you're doing something right. If you're not being hated on, you're doing nothing right. Let's be honest. As much as I don't like CR7, the amount of haters he has says everything. Let's be honest. It says everything on how good he is. You know what I'm saying? The amount of haters that Lionel Messi has says everything on how good he is. You know what I'm saying? And I think, again, Salah's haters are just a reflection on how good he is. If he was a scrub, if he was dead, you wouldn't feel the need to talk about him, would you? Let's be honest. But people do. So, yeah. Proves my point, people. Proves my point about people having agendas because he doesn't fit a certain criteria. And I do feel it is a bit of salt as well, because let's be honest, no one really had a problem with Salah until he broke Henry's record. Now, for me, Henry is here. I don't compare no one to Thierry Henry because I think he is so far up there in terms of being great. For me, him and then everyone else, I think he's on a level above when it comes to Premier League ballers. So I'll never compare Salah and Henry. Never, ever. But it's strange how no one had a problem with Salah until he touched that record and broke it. No one had an issue until he started putting up Ronaldo numbers. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, everyone starts hating. Everyone starts getting insecure because he's breaking their legends records. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. You know, we have a player and we know how good he is. And now, I don't particularly care whether people rate Mohamed Salah or not. I don't. I rate him. I think he's brilliant. I love the guy. I'm a Liverpool supporter. And a salty rival's opinion doesn't mean nothing to me. It genuinely doesn't mean nothing to me, man. I listen to Jurgen Klopp a lot. Even after leaving Liverpool, I listen to Jurgen Klopp a lot. When I've got free time, I'll tune into one of his interviews at Red Bull, a sporting director interview, and he says a lot of things that I agree with. And he said Mohamed Salah was robbed of a Ballon d'Or earlier today. He said Mohamed Salah was robbed of a Ballon d'Or. Now, again, I feel like Virgil van Dijk was also robbed of a Ballon d'Or personally. I feel like the numbers they put up, well, the numbers Salah put up especially, he deserved something to solve for it. But it is what it is, man. We can't have everything we want in life. We can't have everything we want in life, can we? You know, the ones there. But yeah, guys, it's sad, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We say goodbye to a legend. But the problem is replacing him. This is what worries me here now. What worries me is how we replace this guy, because look at what he's done for us over the years, should I say. Look at the numbers he's put up and how he's conducted himself at Liverpool. How are you going to replace that output and them numbers? How are we going to be able to do that? I genuinely don't know, and I worry about that to an extent. Because let's be honest, a new player comes in. We're not going to get no one proven. We're not. It's going to be a youngster, whoever comes in. It is going to be a youngster. So that's a problem we might have. That is definitely a problem we could have in the future. Oh, man. Apologies, people. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys still hear me on your end? Because I completely zoned out there, Wi-Fi wise. Hopefully, you guys can hear me in the chat. If not, do let me know, please. Do let me know if you can't. You should be able to though. But yeah, fucking Wi-Fi bugging, man. I fucking hate living in or having to stream at this room because the Wi-Fi is a joke. Apologies though, people. So yeah, there are a couple of names that we've been linked to today. I've been doing the rounds, of course. Me being a football fanatic, was on Twitter, stalking Twitter really. a couple of names have come to mind. A main name, one of the main names that's come to mind is Yan Diomande. Yan Diomande is someone that apparently we're looking at with a lot of interest. The winger who's over at RB Leipzig. Another name is Bradley Barcola. Obviously, Bradley Barcola at PSG, we know what about him. Kvaratskhelia also being mentioned very, very heavily. Two of them for me seem three names there. In my opinion, two seem very, very unrealistic, and that's not me being downbeat negative. I just don't see them leaving PSG in the situation they are. And respectfully, we're in a club that we're gonna be going through a transition. Let's be honest. It's going to be a summer of more change, more ins and outs, and we're going to have another different side next year. Let's be honest. So uncertainty at Paris. That we're looking at with a lot of promise, should I say, and a lot of interest. And then, of course, the main name that's doing the round. The what? Apologies, people. I've just realised that I've streamed. I've frozen. So let me just reload my page. There we go. Should be back now. Don't know what happened there, but I just froze on screen for whatever reason. Oh my god, it's annoying as hell. It is annoying as hell. Right, people, I'm gonna have to reboot my laptop. I'll be back in 1 second. This is so fucking annoying, but it is what it is. Hopefully, I'm back now, people. Fingers crossed, I'm back. Hopefully. Oh, StreamYard is annoying, man. I swear down. StreamYard is annoying as fuck. Bunch of fucking wankers. Bunch of wankers, man. I was doing so well technical difficulty wise, and then that goes and happens. Apologies. What was I saying though before I ended up getting taken off or getting taken out? Was talking about the winger situation. Yes, Mohamed Salah and the replacements regarding Mohamed Salah. So, of course, a person that we are showing a lot of interest in is Leipzig's Yan Diomande, along with PSG's Bradley Barcola, and along with Kvaratskhelia as well from Paris Saint-Germain. So there's 3 right wingers that I've seen today at least. These are 3 that have been linked with us today. 3 that have been linked with us today. There could be more. Obviously, we know who everyone's dream right winger signing is. We know who everyone ideally wants as that Mohamed Salah replacement, and that is none other than Michael Elise. Michael Elise is the one that everyone loves. He's the one that I think we all can sit here and say he is the ideal Mohamed Salah replacement in terms of output, in terms of goals, in terms of just being a perfect replacement. He's the one, isn't he? He's the one. But let's be honest, Liverpool isn't the only one that. Well, Liverpool aren't the only ones that are looking at Michael Elise with a lot of a lot of a lot of interest. He's been linked with Arsenal. He's been linked with United, and he's also been linked with Has he been linked with Madrid and that as well? But he's being sought after. Let's say that he is being sought after by a lot of people. So we have options winger wise, but let's be honest. Other than Elise, they're all kind of going to be on the young and up. So they're not going to be people who or players that are going to be fashionable. You know what I'm saying? Bienevave, Elise maybe. Yeah, we're not nighttime kid. To be fair, we're in again. Like I said, Paris Saint-Germain are in a position where they're in a stable position as a club. I don't think Enrique goes. I think he stays for another season. So they're not in danger of losing their manager. They've got a good team there. I think they've got a young team as well. So they've got no financial issues either. They're not breaking no rules or nothing. So they're in a good position. As for us, we are in a lot of uncertainty. You know, we're having a major squad overhaul again in the summer, by the looks of it. We're going to have a new coach coming in. A lot of uncertainty. We don't know if we're going to be back up there challenging or if we're going to take a bit of a dip for the next couple of years. So it's too much uncertainty for PSG players. At PSG, they're going to be winning trophies year in, year out, challenging for the Champions League. I can't hand on heart say that we're going to be doing the same in the Prem and in Europe next season. So I think they're in a better position. Obviously, we're the bigger club and we're the more attractive club, but sometimes you have to do what's best for your career and not be blinded by a bigger club coming for you. So I agree. We're not getting no players from them. Unrealistic goal for Yamal. Honestly, not a kid. I think he'll stay. I think he stays at Barcelona his whole career. I just get them vibes that I feel like he's going to be the next Messi. Not in the sense of as a player, not as a player before people get onto me, because Yamal has a long way to go before he can reach Messi's greatness. But in terms of Messi having spent most of his career at Barcelona, only left really because he was forced out. He didn't really want to leave either. And when he did leave, he was coming towards the end of his career or the end of his time at the top. So I think Yamal does what Messi does. I think he stays at Barcelona for most of his career. But he's someone that, of course, we'd be interested in if he was available. But he's just not. Bring back Lucho. That won't happen, Nighttime Kid. I doubt we're going to go back in. I doubt we'll go back in and go get him. Never should have sold the guy, man. I stand by it. We never, ever should have sold Luis Diaz. We made a big mistake there. Big mistake. And we're seeing the consequences of that now as well. Funny how you're not getting a penny for Salah. That's the most annoying bit for me, Nighttime Kid. I mean, I'm all right with selling him, but I wanted to sell him and at least get some money. You know what I'm saying? At least get a big fee. And the fact that he's going to go on a free, it's not a good look either. I see what they're going to do. They're going to mold him like they did Messi. Potentially, Nighttime Kid. Potentially, Barcelona's PO is big. It is indeed. But yeah, I think they will do what I think they will do that, Nighttime Kid. I do think they'll mold him and try and make him into the next Messi. Whether he'll ever be able to reach that level of greatness remains to be seen, because I see Rio Ferdinand today saying Messi wasn't doing what Yamal did at 17. And he's right. He's right. But what's to say Lamine Yamal is going to be able to keep up this for the remainder of his season? What's to say he's not going to decline? And what's to say he's going to keep going that way and not decline? You know what I'm saying? So you got to wait and see. Plus, the kid hasn't even hit his prime yet. He's not even 20. You know what I mean? Players don't usually hit their prime till about 25, 26. He's not even 20 yet, so he's got a long way to go. And if he does hit his prime, and if he does maintain his levels, yeah, he's going to be a serious issue, man, that kid. A serious issue. However, he's going to be Barcelona's issue because they'd be crazy to let him go. And I don't think he wants to leave there. I think he's a boyhood Barcelona fan from what I've read and what I've seen. He's been in their academy since he was a kid. He's a fan of the club. I just don't see him wanting to leave. I genuinely don't. So, yeah, Barcelona have got a serious gem on their hands in him. 100%. 100%. But, yeah, he would be an option if he was available, but he's not. Other than that, who else is out there that you can look at as an option? You've got the lower level wingers that I look at and think, not really, but if we have to, cool. I think Rafa Leao over at AC Milan is someone you could look at potentially, although for me, that's a big underwhelming signing. Who else do we have out there? I see Anthony Gordon being linked. Stay the fuck away from Anthony Gordon. Please, lads, stay the fuck away from Anthony Gordon. We do not want that man to replace Mohamed Salah, and we certainly don't want a scruffy blue Evertonian at the club. We don't. The man was an ex-Everton player before he went to Newcastle. We don't want that guy here. We don't. Stay the fuck away from him. He's slowing down a bit so far. Who you talking about? Yamal, yeah? Bo Mbappe is looking at Neymar. Why I say that he has the ability to win stuff. Yeah, nighttime kid, potentially, man. Mbappe, how old is Mbappe now? I'm not sure Mbappe's age, but is he mid-20s? Let me know down below in the comments. Leao isn't having the best time with his manager. So that could be incentive to get him out of there. He's 26, 27. Okay. So he's approaching his prime years. Mbappe, well, he kind of is in his prime years now. Dare I say, he is in his prime years now. 25, 26, 27. Yeah, nighttime kid. So he's in his prime now as a footballer. Like I said, I think players reach their prime 25, 26. Some reach it earlier, 24. And then they peak at 27, 28, and then it's downhill from there. I think with goalkeepers, it's a bit different, though. I think a goalkeeper doesn't really hit his prime until he's about 32, 31 even. You know, I think they prolong themselves well, and then they hit their prime in their early 30s. We stick with PSG too long, bro. He did stick with Paris Saint-Germain too long. He signed the contract as well with them, didn't he? Where he was going to stay. So, again, he fucked up big time. He fucked up, man. He should have gone to Madrid earlier or should have gone somewhere else earlier. But these are the reports, guys, regarding our winger search. So, if I bring up this one, this is the main target. This is the one that I feel Liverpool will go for. This is the player that I think Liverpool are most likely to bring in as the Salah replacement. Hand on heart, if you put me on the spot, realistically, who do I think Liverpool go for? I think this is the one we go for as that Mohamed Salah replacement. So this is reported by Chris, who is a pretty reliable source, even though with a name you wouldn't like that, you wouldn't think so. So he's posted 3 hours ago. Yan Diomande is a concrete target for Liverpool FC this summer, 100% confirmed. Liverpool are now closely following Yan Diomande as a concrete target for this summer. There's Diomande in the kit. So yeah, he is, by the looks of it, he is the main Salah replacement target. He's the one that the club look like they want to go for. And I think we do end up getting him. Now, I personally don't watch a lot of Bundesliga. I'm going to hold my hands up and say I don't watch a lot of Bundesliga. So I don't know much about Diomande. I haven't watched him at all, highlight-wise either. But I hear he's a very good player. I hear he's a very, very good player. Very young, upcoming. I think he's in his early years as well as a player, so he hasn't really hit his peak yet. I don't even think he's 20 yet currently. So again, he's got a long way to go. But it's like I said, guys, you're talking about replacing a legend here, man. We're talking about replacing a club legend, an icon here. Do you really want to put that pressure on a young kid? Do we really want to do that? Do we really want to put the pressure of a young kid onto a young kid, to be that Mohamed Salah replacement and expect him to hit the ground running? No, we can't expect it, man. He's a youngster. He's going to be inconsistent. He's going to be incredibly inconsistent. Is he going to be able to put the numbers up that Salah did? Not a hope in hell. Not a hope in hell that's going to happen. So either way, whoever we get in, they're not going to be Mohamed Salah, are they? Get Saka again. That's another player who I think is severely overrated by Arsenal supporters. Again, and plus he's been fucked up by injury. Arteta has messed that guy up, man. When it comes to injury, he's proper messed him up. So I wouldn't be going near Saka. Genuinely, I think the manager he's under has just completely fucked him up. Quality of wingers is dead. It's poor, Night Tom Kid. It is poor. It's so bad at the moment, and I don't mean that to be horrible to young upcoming players, but fuck me, man. We went from having Hazard, Salah, Neymar, Griezmann, all these wingers back in 2018, 2019, 2017. And now in 2026, we're looking at the likes of Diomande. I mean, no disrespect to the kid. I'm sure he'll have a very good career, but fuck me, man. How have we declined this much winger-wise when we have to look at options like this and there's no one good out there other than Elise? It's mad. It's mad, guys. It's mad. Nighttime Kid. I don't know much about this guy, Nighttime Kid. Who does he play for? Who does he play for? And what age is he? But yeah, this is the guy it looks like he's nailed on. He's going to be a Liverpool player very, very soon. I think, again, it just makes sense, doesn't it? Liverpool love to buy players and make them into superstars. Let's be honest, Mohamed Salah wasn't a superstar when we signed him. He wasn't. He became a superstar down the years through Jurgen's coaching. I feel the club will do something similar here. Bring in someone and try and make them a superstar. So that's that there. So I think Diomande is an option. Other options that I'm seeing here, guys. This is from Empire of the Cup. He's not past 23. He's a young player. He's from Monaco. I'll have to keep an eye on some of these players. I'm not clued up on a lot of them, to be fair, so I'll have to keep an eye out for them. But cheers for letting me know, Nighttime Kid, bro. Cheers for letting me know. If I share the screen. This is what Empire of the Cup have had to say on the winger shirts as well. So, along with Diomande, wrong one. I'll bring that one up later. This is what they've had to say regarding the winger shirts. This comes from Anfield Edition, actually, not from the Cop Stop. So here we go, guys. Jacob Benj has reported that there is appreciation for players like Bradley Barcola, while there is also historic interest in Anthony Gordon. Okay, piss the fuck off with Anthony Gordon. We don't want him anywhere near Liverpool. As for players here, you've got Barcola, you've got Doué, and you've got Kvaratskhelia. Now, for me, I think these would be very good options. Why have I done that? Apologies, people. For me, these are very good options to have. I look at these players, and again, Kvaratskhelia for me will go on to be world class, as will Doué, and as will Bradley Barcola as well. So, but again, like I said, these players have got no incentive to want to go and play for Liverpool. Let's be honest, they don't. I mean, would you want to do it? To be fair, would you want to risk your your potential career of winning stuff to go and play for us at the moment in the state we're in the current state we're in? I certainly wouldn't. At PSG, you're playing for Luis Enrique, one of the best managers in the game. You're playing for a very good side. They are defending champions of Europe as well. Apologies, I'm just searching someone up, people. Another quote. They are defending league champions, and of course defending champions of Europe as well. There's no reason. They're playing for a very good side and a very good manager. Are you going to want to leave Paris Saint-Germain and Luis Enrique to come and play for Liverpool and most likely Xabi Alonso? Respectfully to Xabi, Enrique is a much better manager. He just is. We can't sugarcoat it. We can't make excuses of. He's a very, very, very good manager, Enrique, and unfortunately Alonso just isn't of that caliber yet. You're not going to want to do it. And Night Tom Kid has said it perfectly. I just don't feel that we can attract these players right now. I feel, again, we need to have a good season. We need to have a good year. We need to have a good season. Then maybe we can earn our place back up there with European royalty. For now, at the moment, I'm very, very skeptical. I'm worried as well. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm very worried about the future of the club. I worry that we're going to screw up on who we bring in to replace Mo. I genuinely am. I'm worried we're going to screw up there. I'm worried that we're going to, again, not do the business required in the summer to get us back up there. That's something that worries me. I'll just get this off the screen now. But yeah, I don't think any of these options are realistic, unfortunately, as much as I'd love them. I'm worried that, just worried in general for where the club's heading, man. We've just had a lot of change this summer. We've brought in a lot of new players and we've lost a lot of players too. So we've had a very, very big squad overhaul. But we've kept the spine there. We've kept Ali, Virgil, and Mo, and Robbo here as well, the spine. Now we're gonna lose one of the lieutenants in Mo, who's gonna need replacing, and he's gonna need an adequate replacement, someone who's good enough to be the replacement. And I worry that we're gonna screw it up. I genuinely do worry. I genuinely do. Xabi Alonso, as much as I'm excited to see him come to Liverpool, as much as I'm intrigued to see how he would work with us, let's be honest, it's a risk. Alonso was brilliant at Bayer Leverkusen, won the league against Bayern Munich, went invincible as well, and won it comfortably. Went to Real Madrid. Well, his second season at Leverkusen wasn't so great. Then he went to Madrid this season, and he didn't have a great time. Granted, I think it was more the players downtooling on him, trying to get him out, than him actually being a bad coach. But after the Madrid fiasco, Xabi Alonso now has himself to prove in the managerial world again. After struggling and, on paper, unsucceeding at Real Madrid, being a flop manager, he's got to earn his clout back. He's got to prove himself again. So it's a risk bringing him straight into Liverpool, but it's a risk I think we need to take. Again, Ali's getting a year older. Virgil's getting a year older. So again, how long do they have left? Even next season, going into next year. Again, we're in a very uncertain position. Does Alonso come in? Does he have us playing well straight away? Does it take time to gel? Who are we going to bring in the market? Who's going to go? Will Robbo stay or go? Our sporting directors, Hughes and Edwards, will they stay or go? So much uncertainty around the club at the moment. And it worries me. It genuinely worries me. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it's a big summer ahead again. And unfortunately, more money needs to be spent. Having spent all that money in the summer, we now have to go into this summer and spend more money as well. Originally, I said we need to bring in a centre-back, and I stand by that. We still need a centre-back. Even with Jaquette coming in, we need another one. I said we need to bring in a DM, and we desperately need a DM in the summer. That's something we need to look at. I said we needed another squad rotation midfielder to make up for the bodies, So we need another 2 midfielders, in my opinion. We need a left winger for sure, because we can't go into next year with Gakpo as our first choice left winger. And now with the Mohamed Salah news, we also need a right winger. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signings we need to make in the summer. And also, depending on outgoings, we might need more than that. So more money to be spent. I mean, I worry for the future. I'll just say that. I worry for the future. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get proven wrong. But yeah, I'm not too confident for the years to come. Get Yildiz, a decent option to be fair. Bakayoko maybe not Tom Kidd. But like I said, Elise is the dream for a lot of people. But again, he's got no reason to leave Bayern Munich. And unfortunately, it was confirmed on X as well. If I just bring the quote up as well regarding Michael Elise. It's been shut down very, very quickly regarding Michael Elise. So as you guys can see here, let me just zoom in. Michael Elise feels very comfortable in Munich and has rented the former luxury villa of Jerome Boateng in Grunwald for the entire duration of his Bayern contract. Jan Christian Josine and Max Eberl rule out any potential talk of Michael Elise leaving the club. No matter which club tries to lure him away, anyone who plays for FC Bayern knows what they have to at FC Bayern. That's facts, to be fair. Look, it's unrealistic. He's never going to leave Bayern Munich, especially with everything that's going on in the footballing world right now. Bayern, for me, are the best team in the world currently, playing the best football in the world currently. And in my opinion, are going to win the Champions League. Elise is playing with a very, very good team there, under a very good manager. And you're winning trophies year in, year out. Even if they don't win the Champions League, they're dominating in Germany, winning most of the trophies over there. Are you going to come to England? The state of the league at the moment in England, the state of the football that's being played in the league. Are you going to leave Bayern and come back to England? I doubt it. I severely doubt it. We cannot sit here and say that the Premier League is crap, this, that, and then be sitting here and also saying, but Elise is going to come to the back to the league if someone makes a play for him. He won't. He's got everything at Bayern currently, everything, and he won't jeopardize that. So Liverpool, we need to stop dreaming about it. Anyone else who's dreaming about this transfer, stop dreaming about it. Also, we're talking about this like Bayern Munich are just pushovers that we can just go there and get him. No, the fuck we can't. Bayern Munich are an established European royalty side. They're a historic club, a huge club. Why are we talking like we can just go there and take their man? We can't do it. So this ain't gonna happen. And as you can see right there, it's been reported that he's very happy at Bayern. It's been reported that he's got no intention and he doesn't want to leave. So again, while it's the perfect replacement for Salah, it's not gonna fucking happen. It's just not. Everton will have good wingers, but rivals and that. We're never gonna sign Everton players with Nighttime Kid ever, and I don't want any of them either. Even if I think they're good players, I don't want them. Gordon would do decent, not for us, bro. Not as a Mohamed Salah replacement. Certainly not. Certainly not. But I'd rather keep Cody Gakpo over that guy, and I'm being serious when I say that as well. I'd much rather keep Cody Gakpo around as left choice than bring him in. I think he's severely overrated. Kudos, but he's injured, but he's coming back from injury after the international break. Yeah, kudos. Yeah, but he's a Tottenham player, let's be honest. If you do get relegated, maybe we could look at him. And again, back in the day, there used to be discussions regarding Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen won't come to Liverpool. And let's be honest, frankly, he's not good enough to come to Liverpool. So that's not going to happen. So like I said, for me, Diomande is that standout target. He's the standout right winger option. He's the standout for me, replacement for Mohamed Salah. While I have my doubts about him coming from the Bundesliga, having to step into Mo's shoes, you've got to back him. As soon as he becomes a Liverpool player, if he becomes a Liverpool player, whoever becomes a Liverpool player, and whoever we buy as the right winger, I will back 100%, and I will hope they succeed. But it makes an interesting question, guys. With Mo going out the door, the number 11 shirt is going to be free. So who takes the number 11 shirt up, interestingly? Do we take the risk and give it to the new right winger? Or do we give it to someone else in the squad? I personally would give that number 11 shirt to Ekatike. I think Ekatike is 22 at the moment. He can do better than that number-wise. If Ekatike wants it, I'd give that number 11 shirt to him next season. I genuinely would. I wouldn't risk giving a new player the number 11. I wouldn't, because if it goes south, that could put a curse on that number for years to come. We've seen what happened with the number 7 at United. Ever since Ronaldo's left, that shirt has been cursed. Somerville, maybe. Potentially, if they get relegated, if West Ham got relegated, they could sign me up. Now, you don't retire a shirt, really, unless obviously a tragedy happens, like what happened with Diogo. In that case, it's the right thing to do. But we won't retire this shirt. I think that's a bit too much for Mohamed Salah. I think someone else takes it. I like I said, I'd give it to Hugo Ekitike personally. I would give it to Hugo Ekitike. So, guys, having said that, discussed a bit about the winger choice. I think it's obvious who we go for. I think it will be Yan Diomande. So that's that. Moving on from that, guys, let's discuss a bit on the other topics in the title. So with Xabi Alonso and with Arne Slot. Okay, then give it Rio. No, again, Rio's not proven. He's not proven. Unless you're proven, you don't get that number 11 shirt. You don't just give that shirt to a youngster, certainly. So, no. It should be given to Ekatike, in my opinion. So regarding Xabi Alonso, guys, as seen there in the title, we've had some more breaking news regarding the managerial situation, which I'm happy with, to be fair. Having gotten the news regarding Mo last night, I think a lot of us were upset. However, waking up to this news has kind of cheered me up a bit. It has cheered me up a bit. So if I bring the quote up on screen, it's a long quote, so we'll have to read through it together. This is regarding the managerial situation as well. So if I zoom in, we'll scroll down together and read it. So Anfield Sector, who are a very reliable source, most of the Liverpool news comes from them, have said Xabi Alonso is ready for Liverpool. If Liverpool submit a concrete offer, he will accept, providing his conditions are met in advance. These centre on his influence over squad planning. A year ago at Real Madrid, he had agreed, despite his wishes, a proper centre forward and a central midfielder being dismissed before signing. That will not happen again. His decision to take over Real Madrid ahead of the Club World Cup in the summer against his own convictions also provided to be a valuable lesson after a 4-0 defeat to PSG in the new FIFA tournament. He was already under pressure before preparations for the 25-26 season had even begun. This is why taking over Liverpool for the final stretch of the league and Champions League campaign is not an option for Alonso. He was dismissed by Real Madrid in mid-January. Since then, Liverpool have been intensifying their efforts to bring him in. Alonso's return to Anfield is seen as best possible chance to get the top-class squad firing again. So that's what was said regarding Xabi Alonso, people. That's what has been reported regarding Xabi. Again, I think it's pretty much done. I think Alonso to Liverpool is pretty much done. From what I've been reading, I think it's done. I think it's pretty much nailed on. He takes over in the summer. Like I said, I'm happy about this, but I'm also cautious. I'm not someone who's just going to get overly carried away with it. I'm not that type of guy who just gets overly carried away. I think, again, he's got a lot to prove. Was dismissed by Real Madrid. Didn't have a great time there. Despite we all know the reason why he ended up getting sacked. We know that. But despite that, he still didn't do well at Madrid. He still ended up getting the sack. So if he comes to us, he's got a big task. He's got a big task of proving himself again, and he's got an opportunity to make Real Madrid look like idiots here. He can really, if he does well at Liverpool, we're all going to look back at it and think, okay, Real Madrid with a problem and not him. Is Xabi Alonso to Liverpool? Here we go. I think so, Night Tom Kid. I think it's nailed on now. From all the news that's coming out, honestly, I think it's nailed on. Dictator Mbappe makes him look like a little girl. To be fair, Mbappe, they all fucked him over, man. Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Vinicius Junior especially, man. That bastard fucked him over a lot. But yeah, he was never going to succeed. You have to be a certain caliber to be a Madrid manager. You have to be an Ancelotti. You have to be a Zidane. Someone who has done so much in the game that you can't not respect. You know what I'm saying? I think Xabi Alonso, a manager who was on the up, going into Madrid, recipe for disaster because the players probably looked at him and they didn't respect him. You know what I'm saying? So it was always a recipe for disaster. And whoever goes into Madrid, unless you're a certain caliber, unless you're a certain name of manager, they're not going to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Arbeloa now. I'm not sure what his record likes at Madrid, but it can't be too great. And all Real Madrid really want is a yes man. The only thing they want is a yes man at their club, someone who's just going to sit down, be a good little boy, and take it. Not challenge the authority of the owner, not challenge the authority of the players. Nothing. The pecking order is all wrong at the club. I'll be honest. You have obviously got the owner, chairman, Florentino Perez. You then got the players, and then you got the manager last. That's not how it should work. It should always be owners, manager, players. At Madrid, them last two are switched around, which is not right. It's not right in my opinion. So yeah, a lot to prove for Xabi Alonso if he comes to Liverpool. A lot to prove. Does he get full say over transfers? For me, no. I'm sorry, he cannot get full say over transfers and dictate who he wants to bring in and who he doesn't want to and who he wants to get rid of. Only one who had that authority and that to be able to do that was Jurgen. That's because Jurgen spent 9 years and he earned the right over the 9 years to have full say over transfers. Hence why he could just pick and choose who he wanted to get rid of and who he wanted to bring in. Slot, I think the club fucked up big time with Slot. The first year, I think the club did it perfectly. While I was upset we didn't invest in that first year, in Slot's first season in the summer, I think the club did it well. You know, they wanted to assess how he did with Jurgen's squad. Could he do well without signings? And they didn't just bend to him. They didn't back him. They didn't make that mistake of giving him loads of money and risk it going south. The club played it smart in Slot's first year. At the time, we were all mad, but I think they made the right decision to do what they did. They did, in my opinion. They did the correct decision there. Made the correct decision to not overly back the guy with loads of money. And of course, Slot last season with Jurgen's team did well. Won the fucking league, for crying out loud. But I feel the club messed up. They did so well by managing him. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know the difference between a manager and a head coach. A manager controls everything, who he wants to bring in, who he wants to get rid of, etc. A head coach, all he really does is go to the sporting directors and tell them who they want. End of the day, and then the sporting directors buy the player. He doesn't really have a say over transfers. So I feel the club fucked up big time there by giving Slot so much power this summer gone, because they gave him a lot. They completely got wrapped up in the winning the league thing, and they gave him whatever he wanted, and it's blown up in our face, as you can see. Big up to AFC always, brother. Appreciate you being in, mate. Big up yourself, man. But yeah, the first year we played it brilliantly. This summer gone, while we were all really excited, it's fucked us up. It has fucked us up, man. Slot got all that backing, got given the keys to the kingdom, basically. He needed to prove himself. For me, he needed to prove himself for another year. The next manager now, after Slot, for me, has to have 2 good seasons. He has to have 2 good seasons before he even gets 400 million to spend. Because we've seen what happens. You know, you have 1 good season, and Slot gets all that money, and he takes us backwards. You know what I'm saying? He takes us backwards, which is what he's done with the summer gone. And it's a lesson learned. As much as it was stupid, it is a lesson learned for the owners, and it is a lesson learned for us Liverpool fans too. So for me, Xabi Alonso next season, he has to have 2 good years. He has to have a good year next season and the year after that, before getting money, before he gets a sustainable amount of money. You know what I'm saying? He can't have full say over transfers. He's not Jurgen. Jurgen could have that say because of who he was. Xabi can't have that because, like we've seen, it's a recipe for disaster when you give a head coach say over everything, who he wants to get rid of, who he wants to bring in. But I also feel like we need to replace our sporting directors, Hughes and Edwards. I feel like we need to bring someone else in, someone more competent, because I don't think those 2 are competent enough, in my opinion, to be our sporting directors, especially with a new manager, because they're both control freaks. Do you think the money you spend in this market is justified, and do you think your position in the league is verified by your league position? So with the money we spent in the summer night time, kid, I didn't expect to be sat in the top 5 race, I'll say that. I expected, while I did say it was going to take some time to gel, while I did say we could struggle to find our momentum with the new players coming in, having to gel with the older players, Slot having to find a system to fit everyone in and get the team gelling in a system. I did say it might take time. However, at the very least, if we weren't going to win the league, I still expected us to be in the fight and in the title race. And the fact we're not even in that, we're well off that, and we're struggling for top 5, in my opinion, is unacceptable. And I've said it numerous times, to be fair. I've said that numerous times, and I'll keep saying it. You can't spend 400 million and not go back to back. You can't. We all thought, because he did so well last year with that team, that this year he'd kick on with some signings. And he's taken us backwards with signings, funnily enough. But yeah, the money you spend in the market is justified. To be fair, I think we did waste a bit of money this summer. I don't think we needed to bring Alexander Isak in, personally. I think we should have put that money to a centre-back. And our league position, it's unacceptable, to be fair. To be 6th in the table, and we're towards the end of the business end. For me, it's just, it's annoying, man. It's annoying seeing other clubs do so well. Pardon me. It irks my skin seeing Manchester United do so well. Seeing Manchester United sat in 3rd, playing some good football in the Michael Carrick, and to see us struggling. It irks my skin. But what can I do? What can we do, man? We've just got to wait till the season ends and then go again. Like I said, a lot of change. A lot more money needs to be spent. And it's going to be an interesting season next year for us, to say the least. A very, very interesting season, regardless who our manager is. Regardless. And, of course, having said that, people, Dave O'Cop also posted about Xabi Alonso to Liverpool, saying pretty much the same thing. But again, Dave O'Cop, I don't know how reliable he is, but I do see him quite a lot. So this is what Dave O'Cop reported, saying that Xabi Alonso is ready to join Liverpool, according to Alex Hazai of Build. Alonso is ready to accept a suitable offer from the Reds. His conditions include influence over squad planning, according to Hazai. I don't blame him, to be fair, because you look at Madrid, he didn't get no squad planning there. He was pretty much given a squad and said, okay, get a tune out of these players, win with them, given a team of individual brilliance. I don't for 1 second believe Xabi Alonso was allowed to dictate and decide who he wanted signed this summer gone at Madrid. I think, again, Madrid make the signings. they're thrown to the manager and he just has to find a way of making them work. Over at Liverpool, we do it differently. You know, it's pre-planned, everything's planned. The manager's given what he wants. And naturally, Xabi Alonso is a bit cautious now after having a bad experience over at Madrid. So he wants influence over squad planning, wants to be able to build a team the way he wants a team to play, and wants to be able to have a say. You know what I'm saying? Have a say. He didn't get that at Madrid. So at Liverpool, again, I don't see an issue with that. I think the club are more than willing to give him give him the squad planning and that. So that shouldn't be a problem. But unfortunately, we are going to have to wait until the end of the season. There's no chance that Xabi is going to come in now and Xabi's going to manage us for the last 6 games. There's no chance. You know, there's no chance. The best we can do at the moment is an interim. That's literally the best we can do. Get an interim in. And I don't think the club will want to do that because they made it very, very clear that they want to stick with Slot for the remainder of the season. Regardless where we finish, they want to stick with Arne Slot. Which for me is just fucking crazy talk. It is crazy, crazy, crazy talk, man. Because for me, I think we're so much better getting an interim in. I genuinely do. People call me crazy and that, but you can't convince me that a Steven Gerrard wouldn't get more out of these players. You can't convince me Steven Gerrard being who he is, being the club legend that he is. Apologies to searching something up. Having the respect of Virgil, Mo, Ali, and all these, you can't tell me that he wouldn't get more. He would. He absolutely would. So the club think we're better off sticking with Slot. I think, I'd argue later, I think we're better off getting rid of Slot and bringing an interim in. I genuinely do. Fuck's sake. We're not going to get top 5 people, are we? We're not going to get top 5. If this guy's our manager, if he stays the season, I'm genuinely worried as fuck that we don't get top 5. I genuinely am. And I'm not taking the piss there. I'm not trying to be overly negative in that. I don't think that I don't think we can do it. I genuinely don't. I feel like Chelsea, as bad as they are, might pip us to it. So I don't know how I feel, man. I don't know how I feel for the remainder of the season. Arteta, could you go for him? That's not going to happen, Night Tom Kid. It's not going to happen, bro. That guy, after he leaves Arsenal, he's never going to get a managerial job anyway. Anyone who gives him a managerial job after he leaves Arsenal is crazy. I'm sorry. It is absolutely crazy. So he ain't coming to Liverpool. And plus, he's an ex-fucking Evertonian. The guy played for Everton, for crying out loud. You think I want an ex-Evertonian as my manager? Fuck no. Fuck no. I do not want no ex-Evertonian around. So he ain't going to be joining Liverpool. If anything, Everton might end up taking him. Everton could end up taking him in as their next coach. But for us, fuck that, man. Frank, that's not going to happen either. Europa League next season, potentially. We could potentially be playing Europa League football, yeah. Getafe would shoot him, bro, because they play potentially, man. But yeah, I expect the change to happen in the summer. Regarding Arne Slot, this is what a journalist had to say. This is what this journalist had to say regarding Arne Slot goal side. So he's reported this that let me just zoom in a bit. That Arne Slot stands on the verge of a sack at Liverpool with Xabi Alonso waiting in the wings to replace him. He will leave in the summer. Again, he will leave in the summer. We know he's going to leave in the summer, but is there any chance that he could leave now? With the games we've got coming up, man, you think I'm looking forward to going away to Old Trafford, guys? You think I'm looking forward to going away to Manchester United, away from home in the form that they're in, and playing them with Slot as our head coach? No. You think I'm looking forward to going away to Villa with Slot in charge? No. You think I'm looking forward to going away to Everton, the first Merseyside derby at the new ground, with Slot as our coach? I am dreading these games. I am dreading these games, guys, if he's still here. Where are the points coming from? We're not beating Everton away. We're not beating United away. We're not beating Villa away. Chelsea at home is going to be a mid-off because we're both crap, so that's 50-50. Who knows how that goes? Other games in between that, Palace at home, a bogey team. Fulham at home, you never know. They can turn up and do something. Brentford at home last game again, you don't know. Oh my god. I'd rather bring Stevie G. Get Stevie G in for the last 6 games as an interim. Get some sort of bounce. And hopefully we can steer our way to top 5. Because if we get some momentum going, if we get something on, we will leave Chelsea in the dust. But that's not going to happen with Arne Slot, is it? It's not. The good news is there's no chance he stays next season. There's no chance he stays from the reports being read here. So he will be gone in the summer. But it looks like we're going to have to suffer for another 7-8 games. With Salah's announcement too, guys, I did say yesterday I want us to win something. I wasn't asked before. I was like, it is what it is. But now I want us to win something. I want us to win a Champions League. As unlikely as it is, I want us to win number 7 and bring it home and send Salah on a high. I couldn't be able to stomach it if we went trophyless in his last year, because the years that man has given us, the joy he's given us, the amount he's done for our club, to send him out in his final season without a trophy just doesn't feel right. It doesn't. Big up my brother King, man. Big up my brother King, man. Make sure you sub to King. Absolute legend in the building. Another one of the Fellowship of the Realists. Big up yourself, bro. Big up King, man. Big up King. Just about to put your link in, but Nighttime Kids beat me to it. Here we go, guys. Make sure you sub to King. Make sure you do sub to African King Academy, my brother. But yeah, guys. I can't wait till the season ends. I genuinely can't wait till the season ends. After the break, we've got a brutal start. A brutal start back up. So we play. Well, not this weekend. We play. We play City first game back, guys. Manchester City at the Etihad first game back. Away from home in the FA Cup. That's the first game we open back with. We then take on a couple of days later Paris Saint-Germain away from home at the Parc des Princes. Then we have Fulham in the league that weekend. You don't know. Then you have the second leg against Paris Saint-Germain. And then you go into the games where we have Everton away the same weekend. The derby away from home. You then have Palace, United. And if we do somehow advance past Paris Saint-Germain, you've got to put in the quarter-final legs there somewhere too. So, oh, man. I feel like we could be out of both the FA Cup and the Champions League in the first week back after the break. I feel we probably get knocked out to City next weekend, so that's the FA Cup gone. And then if Paris Saint-Germain beat us comfortably in that first leg, that'll be done. So within the first week back after the break, we could genuinely be out of the FA Cup and the Champions League. And that'll be the season over. Then it's literally just playing for top 5. But it's okay. Nothing wrong with him going with his bags alone. Yeah, nothing wrong with that Nighttime Kid. Liverpool's falling off a cliff. You won't see me arguing with that. We've fallen off a big cliff. A big, big cliff. Compared to where we were last year, compared to where we were in the summer. This feels unreal, man, that we are where we are now. From 20 times to Europa League next season and Salah leaving and you win nothing this season. Well, potentially, man. But I have to hold out a bit of hope that we will do something in the Champions League. Call it crazy, call it deluded, call it optimism, whatever. I'm going to hold out some optimism. While it's very, very small and the reality in me says we're going to get smoked. I have to hold something, man. I have to have some sort of positive energy going. Otherwise, I'll just end up depressed. I want you to beat City to make City focus on the Prem. To be fair, City are going to be on a high regardless, Nighttime Kid now. After beating Arsenal. After beating Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, when they come back, I'd imagine they're going to be on a high. I think the gap at the top of the league is still 9 points between City and Arsenal, so it's still very much in Arsenal's hands. City win their game in hand. Let's say they do win it hypothetically, although I wouldn't say it's a foregone conclusion that they do. That becomes 6 points. Then if they beat Arsenal at the Etihad, that becomes 3 points. So Arsenal, either way, regardless, have got this in their own hands. The only ones who are going to fuck it up for themselves is them. I'm saying, so like I said to all the Arsenal fans, man, how they come back after the break mentally is going to say a lot. Can they put that league defeat, the League Cup defeat behind them, and push on in the league and lock in and say, okay, we're going to make sure we get this League One, or do they just continue to crumble? Because from what I've seen, Arsenal don't have exactly hard to. Apologies. Their games aren't too hard on paper. They've got to go away to City, which is a standout one. Apologies, guys. Again, I lagged out for a minute. But yeah, guys, they don't have a lot of difficult games coming up. They don't have a lot of difficult games coming up. City, on the other hand, I think City have got to go. City have got to go away to Chelsea. They got to play Arsenal. Who else have City got to play? So there are games there that I still think City could drop points in. Don't get me wrong. There are games I think they could drop points in, and I wouldn't put it past City to still drop points after the break and be inconsistent. I think they beat Bournemouth. Is that their first game back here after the break? Bournemouth in the league. Bournemouth will be tough if it's away from home. I think at home Arsenal should deal with them, but you never know. Like I said, they could be down in the dumps. I think they lose to them. You think they lose to them? Arsenal, Bournemouth, and City. Let me get the matches. Big up Nighttime Kid. Am I frozen? Am I? Am I frozen, people? I hope not. I should hope I'm not frozen. No, I look okay. I've got the stream playing in the background, so I should be fine. Yeah, I'm back. Lovely stuff, Nighttime Kid. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. I know when I freeze because my screen just goes blank on my end. You know what? Let's have a look at City's fixtures. Nighttime Kid, you've intrigued me now, so before we head off, we'll talk a bit about City's fixtures coming up and Arsenal's as well. City, Arsenal. Let's have a look who these are. So let's look at. We'll look. Oh, for fuck's sake. The City's fixtures, guys, is as follows. So City have got to play. I'm not going to bring it up on the screen. Fuck it. I'm just going to tell you guys who it is. So after the break, they play. Obviously, they kick off against us in the FA Cup. Then the first game back is actually Chelsea away. So they have to play Chelsea away from home. Then Arsenal. So that's a big 2 games there. City and Arsenal, Chelsea and Arsenal back to back. Burnley away. I think they beat Burnley. Everton away will be tough for City. Everton away from home will be tough. Brentford at home will be tough. Bournemouth away will be tough for them. And Villa at home final day. Villa might need the points for a top 5 race. So looking at their fixtures, guys, I'm going to be honest, City's last couple of fixtures, all hard games, bar Burnley away, which I think they win. They're all tough. Chelsea, Arsenal will be hard. Everton will be hard away from home. Bournemouth will be hard away from home. Brentford at home, maybe. And then Villa at home might need the points. So they haven't got an easy fixture one. They haven't. As for Arsenal's fixtures, guys, let's have a look who they have. So they kick off after the break. They kick off Southampton in the cup. Then and this is the thing with Arsenal, guys, if they go further in Europe, they'll have more fixtures and they'll have more congestion. So they kick off Southampton at home, away in the FA Cup. Then they go into their first leg away at Sporting in the quarterfinals in the UCL. Then they play Bournemouth at home in between that and the second leg against Sporting. If they advance, they then go to the quarterfinals. That could be a difficult week. Sporting back-to-back. Sporting, Bournemouth at home, Sporting again. They can't really rotate either, can they? So it runs the risk of them getting injuries. After that, they play City away. Oh, my God. Yeah, you know what? They might just bottle it, lads. They might just bottle it. Sporting, Bournemouth, Sporting again, City away. Ooh. Oh, then they have Newcastle at home. I think they beat Newcastle at home, to be fair. At St. James's Park, maybe I'd have said different, but nah. Fulham at home, they'll beat Fulham at home. West Ham away will be tough if West Ham need the points. Burnley at home, they'll beat Burnley. And then Palace away, final day, I think they beat Palace. So, again, City away is a standout game. They could struggle against Bournemouth at home and they could struggle away at West Ham. The other games, I think they win. I can't lie. Cheers, Night Time Kid. Arsenal have Sporting in the FA Cup, Sporting in UCL, Bournemouth in Prem, Sporting again second leg. That could fuck them up. I can't lie, Night Time Kid. They can't exactly rotate, can they? They have to go strong in the Champions League as well. So they're not winning the Champions League. If they do win something, I think they only win one trophy. I think they only win the league. I don't see them doing a double or nothing. So yeah, Arsenal have City, Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham. I think the only difficult games there are going to be City away and West Ham away. West Ham because they're fighting for relegation and they're going to need the points. Newcastle at home, they should beat them. And Fulham at home, they should beat them. Burnley and Palace, yeah, Burnley at home they'll deal with, and Palace away, final day, I think they'll deal with. City, on the other hand, guys, again, I can't lie, I think City could struggle, I genuinely do. Chelsea away after the break, I can see them dropping points at the bridge. I can. Don't know what's going to happen in the FA Cup tie against us. Arsenal in the league, they're going to have to win that. Burnley away, I think they win. Everton away is going to be tough for City, let's be honest. They will struggle against Everton away. Everton they're a problem this season. Brentford at home, I think they'll struggle. But I think they should win that, to be fair, being the home team. Bournemouth away, I think they'll struggle. But I think they might just win that too. And Villa at home, I can't lie. Villa might need the points for a top 5 race, depending on if they bottle it or not. If not, then I think City win. If Villa do need the points, I think it'll be tough. But yeah, I still think City are going to drop more points, I can't lie. I do think City are going to drop more points, guys. I don't think so, Night Time Kid. I don't think so. This isn't the City side from a couple of years ago where they're unbeatable, they're unstoppable. This isn't. It's not. So I think we need to stop talking about them like they are. I think they drop points in at least 2 of those games. I genuinely do. But I think Arsenal struggle against West Ham and against Bournemouth. So again, Arsenal are only going to... Only people who are going to fuck this up is Arsenal themselves. Arsenal are the ones who are going to fuck this up for themselves, let's be honest. It's going to be their own idiocy if they don't win the league. Not because City were great, because they screwed it up. But yeah, lads. Now, if their attack clicks, they can beat the rest of them. Please, yeah, they can. But let's be honest, do you expect them to do that? With what you've seen from them this season, by the cup final? I don't. So I'm still going to... I still think... actually, you know what? I'm going to stay out of a title race talk. I'm just going to let both of them go at it because I can't predict it. I genuinely can't. Yeah, Arsenal can drop points. I think they can drop points. Not tempted 100%. Haaland's been dead. He's been poor. He has been poor recently. I will say that. But then again, he's also not getting much service, is he? So what can he really do at the end of the day, right? What can he really do? But yeah, people. It's been a great stream again. Gone a little bit longer than I expected. Actually spoke about everything as well. The title, we talked about Salah, who will replace Salah. The news with Diomande, Barcola, Elise, Kvaratskhelia. Discussed a bit about Xabi Alonso, pretty much being a done deal for the summer now as the next Liverpool manager. And discussed a bit about Slot being on the verge of a sack as well. So it's been a great stream, lads. Been a great stream. And 17 likes too. We will take that, Nighttime Kid. Thank you for keeping me up to date. 17 likes, I will take that any day of the week. De Zerbi to Spurs, maybe. I think long term, potentially, yeah. If you stay in the league, I think he could be a manager next season, but not while you're in a relegation battle. I don't think that would be a good idea. I think if you stay up and then you bring him in as your main manager next season in the summer. For now, I think you need an interim that's just going to get something out of your team. But yeah, guys, I think Rasta's live. Unfortunately, I can't redirect yet because I'm not on 1K subs or something. So, do head over to Rasta, guys. Tell him that I told you guys to hop over there. Say Profit Raid or whatever. Big up, man. Big up to you all. 690 subs as well, people. Only 10 subs away from 700. So we're getting very, very close to 1K. Slowly, but there is progress there. Big up to those people who subbed as well. Big up to both of them. Appreciate them. And yeah, guys, quick roll call before I head off. Big up to the legend, Nighttime Kid. Who else was in here? Big up to my brother King. Make sure you do sub to my brother King People, another one of the fellowship of the realist. Big up AFC always. Who else was in here? Hide that. So Dan Chum as well. Big up to Dan Chum as well. Big up to every single one. So yeah, guys, I think Rasta's live. Should be live. If he is, do tell him that I sent you guys his way. Go show my other brother Rasta some love as well. Doing his thing over there, doing a watch down for a United women's game, I believe. So send some love over to Rasta, guys. And yeah, profit out for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. So stay tuned. But yeah, I'll speak to you all soon in a bit. Peace. Big up to you all. Bye for now.